brought to you by Hoolarious, stand-up comedy now on Hulu. Hey everybody, Hulu has a bunch of new stand-up specials that aren't just funny, they're Hoolarious. Very funny, Hulu. Anyway, they're launching new exclusive stand-up specials from awesome comedians like Jim Gaffigan, Ilana Glazer, Roy Wood Jr., Bill Burr, and tons more. A new special drops every month, and they've got a huge library of stand-up specials to check out. Go to Hulu and get your stand-up fix now.
Oldie Buddy Goodie is the podcast that you are listening to. Thank you so much for pressing play on this older bonus episode, because Zach and I, we're away. We are busy. We are doing other things that aren't the podcast for the next 2 weeks until we're back with a bonus battle between two violent puppet movies. But in the interim, as fancy people say, we're putting out some bonus episodes straight from our Patreon vaults, and we mentioned this movie in the bonus episode that I dropped last week, and I, in honor of that new Looney Tunes movie, in honor of the potential of us actually maybe getting to see Coyote versus Acme, maybe they'll release it, Warner Bros, please. Here is our review of the extremely shit Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, I just gotta put a little warning up front. We are not sponsored by Warner Brothers in any capacity. I feel like just reviewing this movie should count as a paid advertisement for Warner Brothers, just as a company, and you'll see why if you haven't seen the movie once you get into the episode. But just want to put that in there just for legal reasons, and also put this in for legal reasons. I hate this movie. This movie sucks. And this review's pretty fun. So enjoy it. If you want more bonus content like this, patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod. Got a huge back catalogue there. You'll hear a promo for our new episode on X-Men 2 later on in this bonus episode as well. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a bonus battle, but until then, enjoy this bonus episode on just an awful movie. Why did they make this? So, Zach,
what's up, Doc?
let me bring up a couple new movies that have just come out.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Psychological horror called Censor. It's really good. I recommend it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Pretty cool action. Gunpowder milkshake. Lots of violent stabbies. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Oh, cool.
There's an anti-revenge movie called Pig, where Nicolas Cage has to get revenge on his pig, and he's also a chef.
I love Nicolas Cage. Oh, I have to check that one out.
Yeah, lots of really good movies came out over the last, month.
Yeah, they did.
Really good movies.
Yeah.
So why are we reviewing Space Jam 2?
I believe mistakes were made. Of all the movies we decided to choose. Hey, look, Space Jam is a classic, It's a movie that people think of oldie but a goodie, That's Space Jam is exactly that. It's old, it's outdated, it's got some stupid jokes.
Is it good or is it just my nostalgia? I don't think it's very good. I don't know.
It's one of those movies that people think oldie but a goodie. This movie, I would say, is neither of those things.
Well, no, it's definitely not old because it just came out, and it's probably not a goodie. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, here's the thing, though. I was doing a lot of thinking while I was watching this movie. The first thing, before I even turned it on, because I watched it with a friend, we were talking, and I was like, look, the first Space Jam movie, is it good or is it just nostalgia? I rewatched it last year and I enjoyed it. But was that because it's nostalgic and I like Looney Tunes, or is it because it's actually good?
I think it's genuinely a pretty okay movie. And if you're a fan of the Looney Tunes, it's a great movie. Because you get all the things. If you haven't watched any of the Looney Tunes things, it probably won't do anything for you, It's a Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think it's, actually a pretty good movie. With the exception of some of the jokes, I think, fall a bit flat sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, I want to throw back. I haven't seen the movie in years, but I still remember that the guy gets inflated at one point.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And then farts around like a balloon. That I hated as a child, and my rage for that joke still lies within me. But the rest of the movie I quite liked.
Well, everyone that I know who has seen that movie for the first time, not as a kid, absolutely hates it. So maybe you do have to be a kid to enjoy it. I don't know. Or you just gotta have our sense of humor. That could also be it. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm dumb.
That first movie, but at the same time, it's like Ivan Reitman. There's like some Ghostbusters humor in there. It's the same sort of people. It is good. I don't know. This one, though, that's the thing. Our kids who are watching Space Jam: A New Legacy, this is their... Is this their Space Jam? Do they actually enjoy it? Are they going to grow up and be like, this is great?
Yeah, this is a kids movie.
So we're just grumpy old farts that are going to complain about a kids movie for the next 45 minutes.
Absolutely. Fuck this movie. This movie sucks.
There's some good stuff. There's some good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm being overdramatic, of course. But
maybe every 12th joke is good, which is the most you can ask for.
That's a good ratio, I'd say. Every 12th joke. I haven't counted them myself, but I feel like on average, you're right.
Is it just a giant ad for Warner Brothers? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Does it feel like it's written by adults who think they know how technology works, but do not at all because they're adults? Yes. Yes, this was written by 50-year-olds.
And also, those adults are trying to be really cool as well.
Does it have outdated memes that were outdated if this was released when it was originally meant to be released last year? Yes.
What do you mean last year? Last century? If this had come out 20 years earlier, the memes would have been stale. By this point, the memes are like ash floating in the wind.
But does it look good?
It looks very good.
Yes.
It definitely looks impressive. Whenever I see a movie like this, all I can think of is all the hard work and effort of the animators going into this movie that I'm watching right now. Because the animations and other things were really awesome. Like, there was so much money put into this stuff.
I read somewhere it took the animators 1 year to make that one scene where all the Warner Brothers characters are like rushing down to the stadium. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
It took them 1 year to make that entire scene.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because there was just so much detail in it. Which
I thought it was really impressive, the crowd detail with all the because they've got all the properties of Warner Brothers, which I very much liked about this movie. Is it was like that was one of its higher quality bits, was that they just dipped into all their resources and just threw characters in. That being said, it wasn't really utilized well, but it was definitely one of the better things of the movie. I liked that King Kong's got nothing on me.
That was pretty funny. Do you like Ready Player One?
No.
Okay, no, you don't like it. I hate it as well. I hate the book. I hate the movie. I think it's awful.
Yeah.
So, okay, good. Because I was going to be like, if you like Ready Player One, it's doing that, but for Warner Brothers. And so you might, like, if you enjoyed that, you might like this.
But here's the thing. I liked that part about Ready Player One. I like seeing thing that I know is reference to thing I know. Ooh.
Yeah. You like a moment where you're like, haha, that is thing.
I get reference, Sanjo. I get reference.
I love when you're watching a kid's movie and you're like, oh, wow, it's the nun from the Conjuring movies and there's the three guys from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I know.
I love that when I'm watching a kid's movie.
Yeah, what was this? There was the bad guys in the audience for the thing. And, like, they had some guy dressed up as, the guy from The Matrix. I can't remember what he's called.
Oh, Agent Smith?
Agent Smith, yeah. But it had some random guy dressed up as Agent Smith.
It's all cosplayers. Yeah. They hired a bunch of, like, movie world-looking cosplayers.
It was so funny. See, that's another great bit. That's great. I love that.
I guess.
And that's what I'm including in that whole, like, reference thing.
Yeah.
I think the references were done well.
That was good. Oh, there was one, it was, the blue monkey from Wizard of Oz was just in the background. I'm like, that's cool.
I saw the penguin Like
Yeah.
the old movie Penguin, the horrifying
The
squat
Daddy
man.
Was it Danny DeVito? I think that's Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny
Penguin.
DeVito
Yeah.
looking one. It's around that. Yeah,
That was
like,
good.
there's the stuff. So I like references.
Yes.
I'll say.
Okay.
I don't like movies that are just one big reference.
Which this is.
But I like references in general.
Yes.
And so I appreciate them.
There were some very good references. I liked, like, the Animaniacs were there. I was like, it's cool, they're up there,
Yeah.
and they're doing
I like-
things. There's one
I like-
reference that we'll get to in spoilers.
Yep. I don't want to say them anymore because I don't know which one's the spoiler. But I did like them.
Yeah. So we're going to do non-spoilers than spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie, there will be a moment where you should probably stop listening if you don't want to be spoiled, but at the same time, it's Space Jam. So,
There's
look.
not really. Look, yeah, I don't know how much we can spoil.
There's one joke that I do think you should go in blind for. Just one joke that I think really works
Okay.
if you have no idea that's coming up. Probably the best joke in the movie, which we'll get to. But yes, we're flipping the script a little bit, though, because you've got the tagline this time.
Yes. So, there were two taglines for this movie, Sandro, and they're a bunch of doozies. I'll tell you, you're gonna love them. All right. The first one is, they're all tuned up for a rematch.
Oh, I hate that.
No, you shouldn't, because that's the better one. The second one's, get ready for the slam dunk of the summer.
See, I prefer that.
What?
Get ready for the slam dunk of the summer. Although, actually, no, it's a bit
they're
self-congratulatory, isn't it? They're like, this movie is going to do really well.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like that one, because it's like, but like all things are trying to hype up their own movies, so that's like what a tagline should do. Actually, they're both a lot better than I originally considered.
Yeah, okay. No, it's not too bad.
But yes, they're all tuned up for the summer.
So it's directed by Malcolm D. Lee, best known for Scary Movie 5.
Oof, the best one in the series I've heard.
Have you?
No,
Yeah,
I lied.
I'll say. He's doing a Hot Wheels movie, apparently. Great. He also did this
What?
one movie called Night School.
What is a Hot Wheels movie? Is it just Fast and the Furious for kids?
yeah, it's just like the Need for Speed movie again, but with
Oh, right.
toys. Maybe it's animated. He also did this one movie called Night School, which I remember going to the critics screening for, and it was dead silence for the entire, 90-minute length of the film. Everyone, and it was, not like a tiny critic screening, it was the big critic screening. People were getting their free drinks, their free food, and everyone was silent and no one laughed for the entirety of the film.
Wow. Hey, look, Mortal Kombat, not supposed to be a funny movie, but there was people laughing at the jokes in that movie.
It was a good critic screening, that one indeed.
That one was a fun one. There was one joke where one guy just cracked it in the crowd. It was the Australian, and I love it when that happens in a theater when one guy just can't hold it and he cracks, and then everybody laughs because he's laughing. That's so funny.
That was good. That was good. So this cost $150 million. Very expensive.
150
in the box office. It's made $94 million so far. It took over Black Widow in its first week of release as well. This movie is doing really well. Which, okay, fine. It's a kids' film.
Keep telling yourself that, Sandro.
But what is the premise for Space Jam 2 this time, Zach? Without giving away spoilers, what are people gonna be expecting to see in this sort of film?
The Toons get back together with a new basketball player to play basketball.
That's the movie.
Yep.
It did a good job. Yeah.
I don't want to say anything too much because too much is a spoiler.
Well, what's in the trailer? I think in the trailer, it's that guy from Iron Man.
Wow.
Don Cheadle.
Wow. He's the whole villain of this movie, and you're like, that guy from Iron Man.
Don Cheadle.
You know the reason he's doing this is so he's not called specifically that.
I mean, he's good in a lot of other things, so...
I prefer to call him that guy from Captain America, Civil War.
That guy from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he's in there for like 2 minutes and got an Emmy nomination.
Did he? What?
His 2-minute cameo.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, he is this algorithm thing, and his name is Algae Rhythm.
Oh, no.
So what is he? He's... Warner Brothers, they made this algorithm for nefarious reasons that we'll get into later, and he becomes sentient because the basketball player in this game, LeBron James, insults him.
Does he become sentient? He was pretty sentient beforehand.
Oh, he's always sentient.
Upset.
Yeah, he's constantly sentient. Which means that the bad guy in this movie is Warner Brothers for making this.
Which is funny. Ironic that they made this movie where they are the bad guys.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah. What's good? What's bad?
So, good things and bad things, the non-spoiler. Good animations.
Good animation's good. Although, is it? I don't know. Part of the reason why the first one's great is just because you've got Michael Jordan interacting with Looney Tunes, when in reality it's just this poor basketball guy who's not an actor acting to nothing for months on end, which is very good. In this, LeBron James does a lot of voice acting because they animate him as well.
They animate him, but they also like unanimate him later.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing. Comparing it to the first one's interesting. Like, I'd say the animation overall is pretty good. The animation, like...
Some of it's really good.
Let's go to the bad section. I think the choices made in this movie are bad.
Yes.
There's a lot of bad choices.
The problem is the writing. The writing's
The writing
terrible.
is so fucking bad.
But
oh my god, I hated the
animation
writing.
and the part of this movie that would have taken, like, millions of man-hours to make is pretty good. That part's good.
Yeah. No. I think overall the animation looks spectacular. I can't take that away from them.
And the animation style changes. They enter certain worlds during the movie, and the animation style slightly changes in those said worlds to kind of
it's
fit
cool.
that world, which is really cool.
That's part of the references I liked, was that like in... That's what I was trying to say before. In DC world, they go like old DC cartoon style.
Yes.
For things, and that was awesome. And I was like, oh shit, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I like this. This is tingling nostalgia. Tingling my nostalgia senses. Tingling in my loins.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, you're right. That was good. I didn't love, and it is in the trailer, and they really shouldn't have revealed this in the trailer because it really gave him bad faith straight off the bat.
So, little spoiler.
Little spoiler is that at some point in the movie, the toons do become 3D animation. And when I saw that in the trailer, I went, that's going to be the whole movie, and I'm going to fucking hate it. It's not in the whole movie. It's only maybe the last 40 minutes, but still, it looked weird. It looked weird. Like, the animation itself was good, but it's so weird seeing Elmer Fudd in 3D animation. It looks wrong.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that was the incorrect choice. It was more like a thing they could do, so they did it. And it was like, oh, this separates us from the first movie. Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
No.
It was alright. I thought they actually looked fine, and it was just such a non-thing. Why do you have to do that? You didn't have to do that. And the whole parallel with a living human playing basketball and then just this 2D cartoon also there was part of the charm of the first one, I thought.
Yeah. Whereas here it's like slightly more realistic because it's all 3D and like it doesn't hit as hard. I don't know. It's not as unique, I guess. Is the plot of this movie very similar to Spy Kids 3D? Because I wrote that down in my notes. I wrote down, is this Spy Kids 3D? I think that was when Don Cheadle was introduced and he's like, I'm an evil robot. Haha, I'm not a robot. I'm an AI. I'm in a computer. I'm standing in a void.
I love Spy Kids. Why you gotta do this to Spy Kids, man? Why do you have to bring up the old memories of...
Look, Spy Kids 3D, terrible, but very good. Very awful movie, but good stuff.
Yeah, I can't fault you on that one. I have fond memories, but... God, that series died a horrible death long time ago. What else is good? Can we say anything other than, like, the animation was good?
There's some good jokes, but they're spoilers, so I'll talk about them in a bit.
Yeah, so there's some good jokes. There's also some bad jokes.
Oh, the soundtrack's alright.
That's definitely not what I was going to put in the good category. I was very disappointed.
I like some of the original songs. Like, there's like a Brockhampton track that I really like.
Yeah, look, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good either, in my opinion.
It wasn't. It wasn't like the original soundtrack, which is a concept. I wish they'd just done some stupid remix, you know, of Space Jam. They did at one point though. They put a hip hop beat behind the Looney Tunes theme, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I added well, spoilers. I hated that.
Oh, that.
But
yeah.
At least I could be righteously hateful rather than, you know, at least they tried. Where is my everybody?
Well, there might be a reason that's not in the movie though, and that's a universe-breaking plot point that we can get to in spoilers.
Yeah. But like that, I still remember that song. It was so good. They made the song. They could have used that as like their comeback song again. I would have been like, this is the best movie of all time. Oh my god.
You wouldn't have said that, but okay.
Forgiven. I would have forgiven every single sin.
Yep.
I love that song. Dude, I listened to that so much as a kid.
Other things that aren't spoilers. Is there too much,
like,
I'm LeBron James and I'm a bad dad? There's too much of that in this movie. Is LeBron James a good actor? I don't think he is, but I do love how unenthusiastically he, like, yells at some point. He's like, oh no, as he's, like, falling through a universe.
No. He's not a good actor. I think the plot overall was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that's a non-spoiler. The plot was probably bad. Not the worst plot ever, but not great.
It's not a Tom and Jerry plot, but it's still a bad plot.
Yeah. No, not a Tom and Jerry, no. It still gets the gist.
But is it a plot? It's a character arc and then a bunch of ads.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an oldie from me. How about you?
It's definitely an oldie from me. Absolutely. This is an old... I would rate Space Jam the original a goodie, and this one an oldie, and like older than Space Jam. That's how stale the memes were.
There's too much attempts at being modern. The first Space Jam holds up because there's no current day memes in it. Well, there is a little bit. But it's more like meta references to other movies. Like, Bill Murray being like, oh, I'm friends with the director, so he dropped me off on set, and that's the reason why he's in Toon World. It's like, that's good.
Fantastic. That's so funny. But, in this, they have some stuff. Like, I like that some of the characters, Looney Tunes characters, were in the Matrix, dodging bullets and stuff.
Oh, that's spoilers. Oh, is it? It's also in the trailer.
Yeah, it's
everything's
in the
trailer for this movie.
Yeah. I thought it was in the... I hope it was in the trailer. Sorry for spoilers. But, like, that's a good way to reference something. Whereas there's also bad ways that we'll hop into.
Yes, in spoilers. So 2 oldies. Now we're going to the spoiler section. Jump ahead if you haven't watched the film, but also you don't have to watch it because we both gave it an oldie. What is the big spoiler you want to get to?
Well, howdy there, nerds. It's me, Sally McSeller, and I'm sorry that I called you nerd, listener, because I'm a nerd too. I love them comic books. I read them on my phone. Some people say, your phone's too small to read comic books on, and I say, shut up, nerd. I'm reading my comic books. Anyway, Sandro and Zach over at the Oldie But a Goodie Patreon, they reviewed a comic book movie. Here's a clip from it.
For who's in the movie, I think it's really good. But there are characters I would say are missing.
That's fair, true.
Mostly Gambit.
He's not in these, Zach.
Gambit shows up later on, and you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have.
I feel like Gambit's he's one of those mutants who stand alone. He does his own thing. He's got his own comic book. He's not known for being in the X-Men, really.
Yeah, but same with Wolverine. So fuck you.
You got a very good point there.
Yeah, got you good, Grizz. Got you fucking good.
Fucking spot on, actually.
Yeah, fucking slap that argument down. Fucking
God.
slam that.
Oh yeah, the movie they reviewed is X-Men 2, also called X-Men United, also called X2, and it's up now at patreon.com/Oldie Goodie Pod, where you can be a nerd and spend money, get free, and no, it's not free because you're paying money for it, but get podcasts, bonus podcasts. My accent's weird today. I've got a cold. Anyway, patreon.com/Oldie Goodie Pod. You can get that bonus episode and put it in your ear holes. You can also get a bunch of ad-free episodes too, so you don't have to listen to this mess of an ad ever again. This is the worst one so far. I'm an American. Yeehaw!
There's so many fucking things to talk about. Okay, first off, the dad arc. Let's go the plot. Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
It's not good.
There's some things that are better than the first one, though, with the dad plot. Number one thing that's better than the first one is that LeBron James lives in a mansion. He doesn't live in a tiny house in suburbia like Michael Jordan did, which is the stupidest part of that original movie.
Yeah. It's like, sure he lives there. Yeah.
That's the only positive I can think of about the dad plot.
Takes his private jet to work and back for his 9 to 5. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
But the problem with it is that's been done so many times.
The dad
plot?
So
many times you've had the dad-son plot. So if you're going to do that plot, you have to make it really good. Otherwise, it's going to suck. And it sucked.
The way they did it, though, it just made LeBron James seem like a dick. Like, he's just... Yes. He feels like a really bad dad. And good dad and son bonding movies, sure, they're both a bit rough around the edges, but you've got to like them. Whereas...
Yeah. It's not... It's like you've got to understand the dad's perspective sort of thing. Yeah. It's like the dad isn't actually a bad person. He's just a bad dad. You know? He messes up in the bad... And like at the start of the movie, he acted like a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Wasn't really much about it.
Yes.
But
also, why are you bringing your son to a very important meeting at Warner Bros, LeBron James? That's very unprofessional of you.
Because he's an epic dad. Dab. Oh.
The son was a pretty good actor, though. I thought the son did a good job at acting.
Yeah, surprisingly.
I like how this 12-year-old gets completely gaslit by a 40-year-old AI.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's revealed later on in the movie that Don Cheadle is teaming up with the son, because the son isn't great at basketball, but the son's really good at making those video games. Hey, it's 2021. We're 50-year-old Hollywood writers, and video games, that's cool now.
Oh, I hated this. I hate it so much. Okay.
It worked for Jumanji, and that's why they did it here.
Yeah. No, it's so bad. First off, we have... So the son... We'll go over the two characters. We got the son. He's a boy genius. He's so smart and talented. No one has ever done a movie with a genius kid before.
I'm making another... Dad, why don't you respect me? I'm making video games.
Yeah. But he's so smart. He's managed to make his own video game. Oh, this is cringe. This was really...
And it's a basketball video game, just because he wants to impress his daddy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, his dad is, a famous basketball player that forces him to play basketball. Not forces him, but, basketball is part of their life very heavily. So it makes sense that he makes a game about basketball. Because he would know quite a lot about that.
Exactly.
It makes sense, that part. But, they show him at one point doing, animations and like sound effects and other things. No, a kid wouldn't be doing that. The amount of manpower that goes into doing that sort of stuff for video games takes studios of 20 to 30 people years.
And millions of dollars. Although, granted, he's probably got millions of dollars at his disposal. So that part I can kind of push under the rug.
Yeah.
How about how he's scanning characters in by using his phone and just, like, one angle? He scans the front of people, and that puts them in the game.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously this is kids' movie, so it's just like, well, whatever, brush the technology away. But I wish they could have done some explaining for any of the excuse my French, I've already swore so many times.
Who cares, Patreon?
Doesn't matter. They've already just shown so much, like, bullshit tech. I wish they'd just explain it one time, just be like, oh, hey, we've got future tech, military, magnets, anything. Just give me a bone. Nothing in this movie makes any fucking sense.
It makes no sense. The whole idea of the serververse, by the way, every time the serververse came up, I couldn't help but think Snyderverse, because it just looks very similar. And I was like, Warner Bros Snyderverse, funny. The serververse makes no sense either.
No.
Is it just HBO Max? Is that what it is? It's the streaming platform where all these things exist? Is it the idea bank?
No, surely they could have referenced that. They could have been like, here, wouldn't have this been a cool thing? They just have, like, just some guy with a camera that says Hulu on it filming something, like, in one of the universes. Because then you're like, haha, see, you got a streaming, so that's what...
I guess.
But, okay... So the son makes no sense. He's got a whole studio's worth of time and effort that he can put into. He's got 3D animation technology that is far superior to anything anyone has ever made ever.
Yes.
Because he's got the phone that can scan people and then 3D make them in the game. Even though it only sees one side of them.
It only sees the front of the person. They're not even wearing like a motion capture suit, and they just can put all the stuff in it.
So how does it like capture just them and not the background? None of it makes any sense.
No. But I guess if you're a kid, there's a believe in yourself message. So fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Fine.
It's a kids movie, so we can brush over that. Now we get with the good dad. He's just a bad dad because early on, when he was a child, his coach told him to stop playing video games. And so he hates video games.
Oh, I love that flashback so much. Thank you, movie. Thank you. How about in the first one, where it's Michael Jordan learning to have fun again? That was good.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for so long, and now he's like, oh, now I'm going to learn how to have fun.
Yeah. They do that in this movie, right?
They do that as well.
Yep. His dad's no fun. His dad's too serious. But now he's fun, and then he starts winning. No. Okay. Overall, the plot, the whole plot is based around video games.
Yep.
Instead of, I don't know, TV, streaming services, cartoons.
It's because Jumanji did really well, so they were like video games.
Oh, that's so annoying. Why couldn't he be an animator? The kid trying to animate.
No, the kid's doing every single part of making a video game by himself.
Oh, fuck off.
That's how it's working.
No, but he's an artist. That's been done before. But specifically old cartoon style. He likes that sort of thing. Boom. He loves Looney Tunes.
That's a good point. In the first one, Michael Jordan, fan of the Looney Tunes as a kid, letting his own kids watching the Looney Tunes because then they have the same upbringing. In this, none of the LeBron Jameses have any connection to Looney Tunes in general. They're just who doing what? Okay.
No. The only connection we see him having is he played the Looney Tunes 3D game for 2 seconds on film and then immediately was told to stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's his connection to the Looney Tunes? Is a colored game?
Mm-hmm.
know what? Have you ever played a Looney Tunes video game ever?
I think, no. No, have I? I'm a pretty big Looney Tunes fan, and I don't think I have.
Yeah, because they're not known for video games, they're known for the fucking cartoon. Why?
You know what would have been really good? Because we know in this movie that the movie Space Jam is a movie within the serververse. The movie Space Jam didn't happen. Like, this isn't a sequel to Space Jam in the sense... No, hang on. Okay, it's stupidly complicated. So,
You're trying to explain something that shouldn't be.
The movie Space Jam exists in this world the same way Harry Potter exists in this world as a movie.
Is very funny.
Which means that LeBron James would have... If he's a Looney Tunes fan, he's 36 years old, Space Jam came out, 20 years ago or something like that, he would have seen Space Jam as a kid.
Yes.
And so he would know everything that's happening, and why isn't he doing this seems awfully familiar jokes that all the Looney Tunes are doing?
Yeah.
Because he would have watched this. He would also know the way to win is to have fun and to be loony because he's seen the movie Space Jam.
Yeah, like, why do... Okay, there's several things he should be doing, because the thing is, he's not a Space Jam fan. He's not a Looney Tunes fan, because we never see him watch any of it.
I guess, maybe he just hasn't seen it. That's pretty funny, if that's the explanation. He just hasn't seen it.
If they had said that he hadn't seen Space Jam at some point, that would have been so funny.
That would have been a good
because
joke.
he doesn't understand what's happening because he hasn't seen Space Jam. And then you could have had someone be like, just go loony! Just stretch your arm! Like, he could have tried to do the Michael Jordan arm stretch dunk and, failed because they're in the video game and it's not programmed in, you know? That's not how it works.
That's pretty good.
Wouldn't that have been a great joke? Let's talk about the villain. I want to talk about the villain.
Don Cheadle, Mr. Algae Rhythm.
Also known as that guy from Iron Man.
He is that. He's War Machine. He's getting his own TV show at some point.
War Machine. Look, not a bad actor, not bad acting, but his lines were awful, and his plot as a bad guy sucked.
The thing that I love about movies is when they get a really funny person and they make the really funny person say really bad lines.
Yeah.
And that's him. That's my review of Don Cheadle in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's like, because they call him an algorithm. But what?
Because everyone's talking about the Instagram algorithm and how it's not showing people posts. It's the buzzword of the current day, so we've got to have algorithm be a part of the Space Jam movie.
I know! It's so fucking stupid because no one understands what a fucking algorithm is. It's just like, algorithms are a common word people use nowadays. Let's put that in as algae rhythm. That's such a genius thing that our editors came up with.
That is a pretty good joke, to be fair. I did like algae rhythm.
Algae rhythm, but he does nothing like they never explain what his algorithm does. He's just an AI. All he is in this movie is an AI.
What even is the program that they're making, that Warner Brothers is making? It's something to put an animated LeBron James into Westeros. That's all.
No.
What?
No. The plot that the guy wants to do is that they download the ability to download people and then put them into anything, and therefore be able to make infinite movies forever with people because you've downloaded their face and personality and whatever.
So it's like what Disney are doing with dead actors, just putting them in movies.
Yeah. Just put them in movies, but do that forever.
Forever, with all these different people. To be fair, I bet an AI-generated version of LeBron James would be a better actor than real-life LeBron James. I got the movie, man. Yeah. So the bad guy sucks. He sucks real bad.
I get the idea of programming people into movies. That makes sense.
And it leads to a pretty great montage.
Yes.
Which I enjoyed, which we'll get to.
But overall, he himself has never explained what he is, because he's an AI. He's not an algorithm, he's an AI, but they mislabel him. Like, it's very stupid. His character arc, his motivations are so flimsy it hurts. And he's just not a very intimidating villain at any point.
No. To be fair, Danny DeVito in the first Space Jam also isn't very intimidating.
No.
But he's funny.
Yeah, look, and I don't think it's so much the actor's fault. He was fine. He wasn't great, but he was fine. It was his lines. His lines were awful that they gave him, and I cringed whenever he opened his mouth.
It's really bad.
There was some pretty bad writing.
Oh,
in this
it's
movie.
mostly all the good jokes are. Oh, hey, it's that thing from that thing I like. That's the best jokes.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like there aren't any. Or there's one well-written joke that is a spoiler that I'll get to. First, the basketball game itself. I felt like there was no stakes. It was so boring.
No, not at all. It was so bad because at the start they established the fact that this is a video game basketball thing.
Yes.
And therefore, in the first 5 seconds of the basketball game, one team gets 72 points for
Yes.
2 dunks.
Yes.
Because of style points.
Style points, which could have been a really interesting element of the movie.
Could have been.
It's not. Could have been.
Instead, just wacky things happen and people get lots of points and you don't know what's going to give lots of points. At any point, anybody could get a huge bonus of jillions of points. So there's no real stakes because you know anything's come backable because at one point they had a 1,000-point lead and then they just caught up like that. And then it tries to go, oh, they're tied and they're only getting 2 points per shot now. So they just need 1 shot.
Yeah.
What?
No.
You can't just go back to regular basketball
It makes
points.
no sense. Because, in the first one, again, it's really stupid, and the bad guys have a massive lead at one point. But they've got a massive lead because they're doing basketball. They're not doing...
Yeah.
I've got 10 arms, so whenever I make a shot, it's times 10. Oh, okay.
Yeah, one lady just, picks up the ball and throws it repeatedly in the hoops, and that's a constant thing that happens, is that. While everybody just stands around and go, well, I can't wait till I get to throw the ball into the hoop 1,000 times to get 10 million points.
Oh, good.
So what? If the rules don't matter, the game doesn't matter. The whole point of a game is that there are rules to help, make sure that everyone's on the same page. When you break everything, no one understands the rules and there's no stakes in this game. Also, the audience. What the fuck?
I don't
is
want.
with the audience?
I don't want to. I don't want to talk about the audience. There's no time.
Okay,
There's no time.
so at one point,
no.
I'm going to talk about it. One point, I'm going to quickly talk about it. One point, the bad guy, Al-G Rhythm, gets Dom's phone and his amazing scanner tech that he's invented. And he uses that scanner tech combined with Warner Bros beaming people into the multiverse to beam any fan that's watching when the live stream starts.
Anyone that watches the game.
Their lives depend on this basketball game.
Oh, but then why are they cheering for
Yeah!
the team
Why
that
the
if they
fuck are
win,
they
they're dead forever? Also, it's not the worst fate that these people could have. Oh no, I'm stuck in the magical world of Harry Potter for the rest of my life. Oh no, I'm going to be Neo for the rest of my life. That's not too bad. It's not the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, obviously, some people would be rather upset, though, with that fate. They had
Not
other
if you're
things.
there with your whole family like LeBron James is. His kid, his wife,
but
his nephew. They're
He's
all there.
fine. He's fine. But what about the other people, Sandro, that didn't have their family there?
Well, all
Those
I'm
people-
saying is that you still got to hang out in Harry Potter land for the rest of your life, and that's kind of fun, aside from all the rampant homophobia.
Yeah, all right. So, no, but here's the thing. That's fine. Some people would be fine with it, but other people would be quite upset. And as you bring up, the audience cheers when it needs to. The audience is just an audience instead of people that are trapped there. All they needed was one scene where they, booed, and Algae Rhythm goes, if you do that again, I am deleting you all.
Oh, yeah.
Boom! And now you've got a crowd which, under the threat of death, or under the threat of deletion, is now working for it. And that would have made the whole crowd make sense. All they needed was 2 seconds.
That
where,
would have worked.
all
Yeah,
the
that
crowd
would
is
have fixed
like,
it.
whoa, okay, I guess we're going to cheer then. Guess we're going to play up the game. Like, that's all they needed, you know, but they didn't, and it's dumb.
So, as a big Looney Tunes fan, this film did not have many good Looney Tunes jokes.
No.
At all. Every character does this thing at some point, but most of the time, the Looney Tunes humor comes from, oh, look, it's Granny doing the Matrix thing. It's not, hey, it's Granny being funny as the character Granny from the Looney Tunes cartoon. It's, hey, this character, but what if crossover with other Warner Brothers property? And that really annoyed me. But, saying that, the montage where they're going through, like, Mad Max and, like... Foghorn Leghorn or whatever it is, riding a dragon saying, winter, I say winter is coming, was good. That was a good joke.
That was very funny. Yeah. That was great. I love that. Daffy Duck trying to join the Justice League by derailing a train.
Elmer Fudd's in Austin Powers. That's good. It's funny. It's funny, but it's, again, it's not...
It's only like a 5-minute montage of this 2-hour movie. Or nearly 2 hour.
That montage was good, but there was a severe lack of Looney Tunes related humor in this. They weren't doing Looney Tunes jokes, they were doing, hey, crossover humor jokes, and it wasn't great. I'm kind of torn, because there's some funny moments, but also not. There's lots of cameos.
Yes.
Main cameo that stood out to me was Rick and Morty, because that's the only cameo where the original actors portray the characters. They get Justin Roiland in to do both Rick and Morty. That was fine.
that was funny. Haha, Rick and Morty.
I like Rick and Morty, but I'm like, this is still a kid's movie. And that's something that, like, in Torchwood, which is the adult spin-off of Doctor Who, they were always saying characters from Torchwood can show up in Doctor Who can never show up in Torchwood. Because if that reason happens, kids are going to want to watch this adult thing. I feel a bit weird. I guess kids are always on the internet now and probably have access to Rick and Morty clips anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But still, it's like, that's an adult show.
I just think it's an adult joke in a kid's film.
I guess.
It's like, here's something for the adults in the audience sort of thing, you know?
There's a big Chungus meme. I hated that. Get that out of here. Chuck that in the bin.
I think that was snuck in.
What else is in this movie? I really liked the Lola Bunnies in Wonder Woman segment. That was really good.
Yeah,
animated really well.
That was cool.
Lonely Lola Bunny, not sexualized at all in this movie, which... Probably a good thing.
Made hardcore fans very upset, though.
There's one really, really good joke. One joke that I was watching the movie with some friends and we all clapped and went, that is actually a very good joke.
Oh, yeah? Fantastic.
That joke is, the Toon Squad are down. They're losing the game. Yep. They need help. And so Sylvester comes in and is like, well, presenting the top basketball player since LeBron James.
Oh, yes.
It's Michael Jordan. And you're like, are they doing it? Is Michael Jordan back from the first Space Jam movie? But it's actually Michael B. Jordan. And that was a good joke.
The build-up was so good as well, because they're like, I can feel his power. And it's like his footsteps shook the room, you know. And the guy's like, oh, Michael B. Jordan. And then, it's Michael B. Jordan. And they're like, and he's like, I was just trying to find my seat. Good luck, guys.
That was a very, very good joke. And now I want a movie that's Space Jam, but boxing, and Michael B. Jordan's in there because he was in a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
I want that. Is that everything? I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's all we have time to really talk about. But, is there anything I wanted to talk about? The villainous team.
Oh, that was disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very poorly used.
What if it was like the Gremlins and some of the Goon Squad from the first one, but also like...
Oh,
Pennywise, I don't know, but like some other actual
Wouldn't that
like
be
Warner Brothers
cool?
villains.
He gets the villains from the cartoon worlds to fight them, because that's different from the first Space Jam, but still cool and made sense for the villain to do.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get all the cool. And, you know, Dom can be like, oh, yeah, I love that idea. That's awesome. You know,
good.
that could have been a really cool thing. Instead, they got the same thing for the first movie, which is they scanned basketball players. But instead of the aliens getting their powers, which I love that plot.
It's funny.
Because in real life, the basketball players are just like, I don't know how to basketball anymore.
So stupid.
Which is so stupid.
funny.
It's great.
It is
it's
funny.
really funny because they stole their basketball skills.
In this, it's just like they kind of look like the people they're based off, and that's it.
But and then half the time they're like incredible basketball players that's so hard to defeat, and the other time they just stand there and do nothing and they're useless. Again, the basketball game was thoroughly disappointing, and like the power-ups and stuff could have been cool. And the ending, I did like the whole, like, haha, he cheated, they used a glitch.
That was kind of cool,
Whatever.
I guess. Whatever. Now Bugs Bunny's in the real world, even though it's a Warner Brothers verse thing, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they used a power-up spot, and they sort of cheat, but then they do it, yeah.
And then the bad guy's like, "Why are you cheating?" But he cheated just before, and I was like, haha, get your comeuppance, you AI.
But Sanjo, did you like how much slow-mo was in this movie?
It's a sports film. I was expecting it. Whatever.
Yeah, but it was so bad, especially that ending. That slow-mo lasted like a full minute for like supposedly 15 seconds.
It was a long slow-mo sequence. Oh, I did want to mention how often they bring up Casablanca. Great movie.
Yeah.
This is a kid's film. No kid cares about Casablanca.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, there was a Looney Tunes comic that I read when I was like 5, which was Bugs Bunny and Casablanca. So if it's a reference to that one comic book that I used to read when I was very young, then good on you, Space Jam 2. You get some points there. But yeah, a bad film all round. Hey, they're thinking about making a third one about professional wrestling, but with The Rock. I'd watch that.
That would be so much better than this. Holy crap. Because, like, they could have done that in this film. They could have been like, okay, different sport, same sort of stakes, you know?
That's what it originally was. There was going to be one with Tony Hawk. They were thinking about doing a Space Jam movie with Tony Hawk. Tennis? Is Tiger Woods tennis or is he golf?
Golf.
That would have been boring. But they were in talks for all of that.
Still could have been better than this movie, I feel. They could have done hockey, done like a Mighty Ducks reference.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, overall, very disappointed. And my bar was low.
I wasn't disappointed because I thought it was going to be trash anyway.
Yeah, I guess I should have put my bar lower, but I was disappointed. My bar was at like a medium, and this was a low.
Oh well.
So I was disappointed.
Well, all right. That's our review of Space Jam: A New Legacy. Thanks for always for subscribing to our Patreon. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have seen Space Jam 2, let us know what you thought of it. No bonus episode next week, but the week after next, we are doing Blood Feast versus Blood Diner, 2 identical cannibal movies. So great.
Going from a kids movie to a not so kids movie.
They're both rated R. I think Ben might be joining us for that. Ben Volchuk. We don't know yet. We'll see. But that is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then. And until we see you for some gory fun, remember to watch Warner Bros. Property.
Yes.
Bye.
Goodbye, Doc.
It doesn't work as well.
No, it doesn't work at all. Just like the movie.